Hey everybody, welcome back. Feels so good to be back playing Game Builder Garage again. It's wonderful to see so many of you in the chat, lots of new faces. If you didn't watch yesterday's stream, we've been playing Game Builder Garage, we've been making some games, and we have been going through the tutorials. So welcome, thanks for being here. Let's get started straight away. So I was a little bit scattershot yesterday because I was so excited and chat was so excited and I was kind of jumping back and forth between things, but I'm going to try and be a little bit more structured today. I want to start the stream by showing you the off-stream progress I made on the cheese game. So this is a game that we were building together yesterday, and I've just done a few little tweaks based on some ideas I had but didn't have time to finish yesterday. So let's get started with that. Okay, so first of all, I found a track where the rhythm was described as Eurobeat, so I had to pick it. So that's the song that's playing. Hi Boy Boy. Hi RJ Retro Games. Hi Abe. Hi Danny. Hi Toa. So great to see everyone. Yeah, so we've got the new music, and you may notice that the sprite looks a tiny bit different. He's got whiskers now, and I'm gonna move this way and press the B button. So when I press B, Mousy opens his mouth. Hi Fishy Films, hi 47 Ronin, great to see you all. Mousy opens his mouth, and you can hear wind. You can hear air being sucked in. This little circle in front of Mousy is the area of attraction. So there is actually a sphere there that will attract objects. So my plan is, as well as just being able to bump into the cheese, Mousy will be able to breathe in and draw cheese towards him. Yes, Wakatoshi says Kirby mouth. Very much Kirby. So right now, you wouldn't really need to do the B move, because all the cheese is really accessible. But my plan is to have it so that there are obstacles in the stage that Mousy can't pass over, but the blocks can, so that you have to use the B, the sucking in the air move to collect the cheese. So let's have a look at the programming screen, and I'll show you what I've done here. So, a couple of things. I added a world node, but all I did with this was set the lighting to noon, so that the shadows on the stage were a little less directional. Oh, and I actually got rid of the ground plane, just because we're not using it. What else? Yeah, okay, so this is where all of the sprites come in. So I separated out Mousy's body into a body and nose, and eyes and ears. And the reason for that is because I wanted to add a little bit of depth to the sprite. So I don't know whether you noticed it. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disable the music for a second while I'm talking through this. Where is the music? Yeah. I'm going to just scale these up so they're a little bit easier to find. Okay, so just while we're doing some tests, I'll disconnect the music. Yeah, so you can hear the sound effect a little bit more clearly now. And you can see that the shadow applies differently to his ears than his body, just so it gives it a sense of depth. Then moving on, we have the attract object. So I've currently got that so it's still visible, but that's just for kind of debugging. And that is powered by this button. We get the sound, the wind sound playing, and we also get this texture Nodon to appear upon a button press, which is, you know, the open mouth sprite. And that's bound to a cylinder, which always floats above Mousy, but is invisible until the button's pressed. I've also got a larger body that, you know, works in the same way. I don't think there's anything new up here. This is just the number counter. Let's connect this back up. Matthew T. Fields in chat says, how do you animate? So yeah, that's really the breakdown of that. You can set elements to appear under certain conditions and disappear under other conditions. So this is a very, very rudimentary animation, but I feel more confident now that you could do something a little bit more elaborate if you wanted to. Kool-Aid says, what about a cat enemy? That sounds like a great idea. Maybe a boss at the end. I get the feeling this is going to be one that kind of gets more and more expansive over the duration of these streams as I learn more about the toolset. Toa asks, how do you get the attract box? The attract box is in... oh no, it's that classic thing of me not being able to find them again. What color is the attract box? Oh, there we go. There is a section called Launch, Destroy, Attract. And there is just one here called Attract Object, I believe. Yeah. It's just an attract object. In the settings of the attract object, you can select, just like with the other objects, whether they're box, cylinder, or sphere. And it was a bit of trial and error to get it so that the scale of it in game matched the area I actually wanted Mousy to be able to attract them in with, and also so that it was offset slightly from Mouse's body, so that, you know, if you're facing the wrong direction, you're not going to be able to suck anything in. Because to begin with, it was placed right over Mousy, meaning that Mousy could suck things in from everywhere, which was not what I wanted to do. CPW says there should be a search box for Nodons. I agree wholeheartedly. Oh, this was another element that I didn't get a chance to add yet, but I was thinking of having some sprites animate when you suck the boxes, the cheese towards you. No, Matthew, I don't have all my process recorded. So my setup at the moment is a bit weird. It's not ideal for me to play the Switch while I'm streaming. I usually kind of, once we finish the stream, I'll undock it and I'll do some handheld. I forget who it was in the comments section prior to launch, but somebody mentioned to me that if you have a USB to USB Type-C converter, you can plug your mouse directly into the Switch when it's in portable mode as well. So it's not just when it's docked. And that was awesome. I was doing that today. I'm not a fan of using the touchscreen. It's not precise enough for me. So using the mouse in portable mode was amazing. Danny160, good to see you. Danny160 asks, how many Nodons and I guess connections have I used? 61 out of 512 and 34 out of 1024. Okay, I'm just going to play it quickly. I mean, you've pretty much seen the extent of it so far, but just to give you a run through. There is not much game here at the moment. We need some obstacles, we need some hazards. I still want to figure out how to attach that number as a HUD element, but I feel like we're getting there. The tutorials are getting a little bit more complex now, so I feel confident that we'll see some useful information coming out of them shortly. Wakatoshi, I wasn't paying attention. How do you use the mouse in portable? You need a USB to USB Type-C converter, just like a little adapter. They're not expensive. It will connect to the bottom of the Switch when it's in portable. Hi Cyberfreak, how are you doing? Cyberfreak asks, the character looks cool, did you create it? Yes, it was made using the 2D texture painter. Alright, so let's go into the tutorials. So, we're going to move on to Alien Blaster. I did a couple of these checkpoints that were based on the Honor Roll lesson. We're starting afresh though with Lesson 3, Alien Blaster. The music here is very good. Okay, step 1, unidentified firing object. Dom! Here you are at last. Oh Bob, it's so good to see you. It's been a while. So far we've completed 2 lessons. I feel like you're starting to get quite familiar with the art of game programming, right? Oh, I don't feel like it yet. So, get ready for a challenge. We'll call it, wait for it, Alien Blaster. Alright. Maryland Gold Pyramid in chat says Alice and Bob are the most generic names ever. I agree, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it. Space. You could travel through it for 1,000,000 years and never get to the end. That's pretty big. If you were traveling through it though, you might find some pesky aliens blocking your path. And that's the inspiration for our game. To be more precise, we're going to make a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game. Alright, can't wait. Alrighty, to the program screen. Yeah, Waryland then follows up by saying, yet they managed to give them unpersonalities. Agreed. Time for our bold pilot to make their debut. For this, we'll call on the UFO Nodon. Okay. Characters, UFO, alright, we're familiar. How did I not make Mousy look like he was floating yesterday? I made the object Nodon that he was attached to, that the sprite was attached to, very narrow and very close to the ground, because the 2D textures do cast shadows, but if they're far off the ground, you know, the shadow will be a greater distance away from them. Keeping them close to the ground will help with the appearance of distance or height. Greetings, Earthling. Take me to your leader. Haha, I always wanted to say that. Good to meet you at last. Word on the space grapevine is that you're quite a programmer. So for people that have watched Deep Space Adventures on this channel, we do the same stupid bit where we add space as a prefix to most things that completely don't need it. I'm glad to see that we're not alone. And getting a look at you now, I can see why. I have no doubt that you'll see this through. A mighty Earthling indeed. I hope I can live up to UFO's expectations. What an endorsement! Let's see what placing the UFO Nodon changed in the game screen. Alright. That cute UFO. As you might expect, a UFO appeared, and it's floating. The aim this time around is to make a side-scrolling shooting game, so let's have our UFO face to the right. I can see like a war happening in chat about whether Bob or Alice is better. I think you can argue all day and night, but the reality is that Bob and Alice is the best. Bob is great, Alice is wonderful, but Bob and Alice can't beat him. Select the UFO Nodon and open up the settings. Okay. Hey Matthew, yeah, if you're asking about how to connect the mouse during while it's in portable mode, you'll need a USB Type C USB converter. Otherwise, you just plug it into the dock, and it will automatically work if it's a compatible mouse. All right, so we're changing the rotation to 90 degrees. Oh, minus 90. Excuse me. could just type it in, I suppose. I was kind of mindlessly doing that while I was reading chat. Next, we want the UFO to stay facing right. Oh, we set the turning speed to 0. That's really interesting. Hee. Now I know exactly which way I'm heading. The UFO is now facing right. Now, our UFO is configured for rightwards travel. The next task is to actually have it move about. Hi Ruth, how you doing? To get our UFO moving, let's call on the services of the stick Nodon again. Can you go to Input, Stick Movement, Left Stick, Right Stick, and then call up a stick Nodon? Can do. Oh, yeah. Boing! Good to see you again. Good to see you, Stick. Reporting for duty. Ready to wiggle. Connect the stick Nodon to the UFO Nodon's left-right port. We've done this plenty of times. Bam! Easy. Oh, something's twitching. Can I move? Let's check it out. Oh, we can move. And we just stay to the right. That's very cool. The rotation, locking this rotation speed to 0 to keep the UFO facing right is a really good trick. Next, let's give our UFO the ability to move up and down as well. Call up another stick Nodon to handle that via input and stick movement left stick up and down. Okay. Alright, boing. Wiggling up and down this time, is it? There's not a single line of these tutorials that isn't just like dripping with character. Next, hook up the new up-down stick Nodon to the UFO Nodon's up-down port, except for maybe this kind of line that's just very functional. But all of the like the appearance of the Nodons and the conversations are so good. Yay, this is going to be great. There we go. Toa asks, do you know how to make a first-person game? No, I was looking at the first-person camera. I think it's called like the head Nodon, maybe? But I couldn't quite get it working. I sort of ran out of time. I didn't spend that long on it, but I would really love to try that. It's moving up and down. Thanks to that, the UFO can now move in any direction. When you're all done floating about, I'll meet you back at the program screen. Okay. Next, we're going to determine how we're going to view the screen during gameplay. Call the game screen Nodon, like so. Objects, game screen camera, game camera. Yep, done that. Hello, Dom darling. I trust you're radiant as ever. Okay, let's scale it up. Okay, the game screen is properly marked out now. Okay, so it's nicely framed now. We've set the stage for our shoot 'em up now. Next, let's give our UFO a means of self-defense, namely a cannon. Okay. To create our cannon, we'll need an object Nodon. So I suppose, are we going to build a cylinder? Oh yeah, I looked at the screen. Objects, simple objects, cylinder. You're alright, mate. Cannon, is it? Grand. Oh, this is very, very small. It's the smallest Nodon I've ever seen. Okay, open up the settings screen of the object Nodon. Under Properties, enable only visible, movable, and destructible. There we go. Cyberfreak in chat asks, do you think Nintendo will continuously support this game or DLC with expanded features? this is, I feel like that is like really just a coin toss at this point. It could go either way, because I feel like their support for games after they launch is really inconsistent, and I haven't been able to figure out what the sort of metric they use to determine whether a game gets additional support. I mean, Labo didn't get anything more, right? But they did add the Labo VR kit functionality to like Breath of the Wild and was it Odyssey as well? I hope with this, you know, I hope it sells it well enough that they do support it, but I kind of get the feeling that they've already decided. Like, they've already decided either they will or they won't, and we won't know until either something comes out or it doesn't. Hi Victor, how are you doing? My day's going great, thank you. I would love for there to be 3D modeling in this. Okay, let's carry on with the tutorial. Hi, Mr. Beast. The cannon fell off. Oops. If that happened too quickly, I didn't look. I was looking at the chat, actually. Oh no. Like Pinocchio's nose falling off. Okay. Let's take a moment to think about it. Since gravity is in effect here, it's only natural that things will fall, right? The UFO, however, is a special case. It's not affected by gravity, so it doesn't fall. Objects, on the other hand, will just drop down. So let's fix that, so our new cannon isn't subject to gravity. Okay, I'm going to select it, and open up the settings screen. Ah, okay. I'm glad that we did this in the tutorial, because I was... I'd forgotten where this function was. I want to use it in the cheese game. I'm just going to take a photo of the screen so I remember where to go. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. But basically, I was looking for it today and I forgot where it was. Oh yeah, RJ Etro Games says they added Labo in Mario Kart 8 too. That's a good point. That was... yeah, that was neat. Okay, let's have a look at the game screen. So it's no longer affected by gravity, but it's not connected to the UFO. While we're here, try moving the UFO. When the UFO moves, the cannon is left behind. That's no good. What we really need is for the cannon to stick to the UFO and move along with it. So the aim now is to have the UFO and the cannon move together. In other words, we'll connect the object Nodon to the UFO Nodon. To do that, link the object Nodon's connection port to the UFO Nodon's connection port. Weep. Looks like we're stuck together. Mr. Beast says it would be cool to make a car game that you could toggle gravity by just pressing a button. That should be super simple, actually. I think that would be completely doable in quite a short span of time, actually. Looks like we're stuck together. Oh, a new connection. Cosmetic. Oh, sorry, cosmic. Now, the UFO Nodon and the object Nodon are connected. This is how we'll connect Nodon and make objects move together in future too. Nifty, right? Go check it out. Got a little hat. It's kind of like a chimney. It's not quite right, but let's stick with it for now. Okay, moving around. Maybe this is like a steam-powered UFO. Because you connected the Nodon, the cannon is now stuck to the UFO. Perfect. So moving on. Right now the cannon is pointing upwards, which is certainly one way of doing things. Let's fix it so the cannon is stuck to the front of the UFO. Select the cylinder object Nodon and open the settings screen. Can do. Okay, so this connection point stuff is about where on the object the other object sticks to, and it's a little bit confusing at first, but it doesn't take long to get used to. The connection point setting is where you'll be able to set exactly which part of the object connects to which part of the other object. So that's the cannon being represented there, and that's the UFO being represented here. Wakatoshi-kun says, what lesson is this? This is the first lesson of the Alien Blaster game. The setting for the own connection point is Y-, which is fine already. The setting for the target connection point needs to change though. Change it to Z-. Okay, so that should now have rotated it round. There we go. Would you look at that? The cannon is on the front of the UFO, just as it should be. Now try moving about. It's staying in place when the UFO moves too. With that, our leading character, the UFO, is complete. Complete, but not functional yet, right? Because it can't do anything other than move. And there we have it. Step 1 is clear. Okay, I guess we'll be doing that in step 2 or 3. We saw that if you make use of a Nodon's connection port, objects can be linked to each other on the game screen. So, what's up in the next step? Well, next time around we'll arrange it so our UFOs can fire projectiles. See you next time! CPW says, what's your favorite Nodon based off of their personality? That's a good question. I really like Object because I like the accent that they give them. Or the, like, what is it called? Like the Check for Broken Nodon is very enjoyable. Okay, so we unlocked 2 of Alice Guide's lessons. Do you believe in UFO Nodon and connecting objects? Top Hat in chat says, I wonder is there a way to teleport your character to a different area for my game? Yes, there is a there are 2 teleportation Nodons in the game, which should be able to transport you, unless you're doing something funky with your player character. Might make it a little bit harder. Kool-Aid asks, will you play viewer games? Yes, I've already got a plan for that. I won't be able to do it today. I mentioned in yesterday's stream that I don't have Wi-Fi where I stream from, so I can't connect the Switch up. So what I'll have to do is either do that as a video or kind of preload them. Alright, let's move straight on to step 2 actually. I don't think I'll do the Alice's guides yet. Welcome back, Dom. So, last time we made it so that we could control the UFO with left stick. As well as that... Oh, sorry, just one sec. Mr. Beast, you may need to update your Switch's system firmware. I know there was an issue with the last patch they pushed, and it caused some issues with downloads. Oh, it's working now. Great. Wonderful. As well as that, we connected an object node onto our UFO to serve as a cannon. So our brave UFO is pretty much done. In this step, we'll be adding in a crucial element of any shoot 'em up. And that means to shoot. We'll be creating a setup to fire projectiles from the cannon. To the program screen. If it's firing projectiles we're after, the first step is to call on the launch object Nodon. I also really like the launch object Nodon, but I can't do a Scottish accent, which I think is the accent that they're going for, so it upsets me. Go to objects, launch, destroy, attract, launch objects, launch 10 objects, and call up the launch object Nodon. Alright. Oh no! Wait, no, it's not this one. This one's just the kind of boisterous one. I like this one too. Now wait a minute. You're making a shoot 'em up? It's about time. Finally, a chance for me to go blammo. because that's what I'm here for. And if it goes pow or bang, then it's my lookout. Alrighty. Make the launch object nodon a bit smaller to fit in the blue frame. A bit smaller? That's a lot smaller. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, you've shrunk me down. Well, I might be small, but I got a big roll. Ultra concentrated boom. Concentrated, apparently. I can't wait to get stuck in. Okay, let's check that out on the game screen. Oh dear. Sometimes they're coming out from behind me. As you can see, little projectiles are firing out, like a pea shooter. All well and good, but see what happened? After you moved the UFO, the projectiles weren't coming out of the cannon anymore. Oh yes, in fact they're not even moving at all. Mr. Beast in the chat says, there are no pyramids in the game, so no pointy deaths. There is a pencil, a fancy pencil object. I was looking at that today. That could possibly do what you need to do. See what happened? After you moved the UFO, the projectiles weren't coming out of the cannon anymore. To keep the projectiles coming out of the cannon, we'll need to connect the object. Let's get connecting. Okay, connect the object, connect the launch object nodon to the object nodon. Ah, object nodon, my comrade in arms. Let's lock step. Oh, connecting up, are we? Right you are. Okay, so they're connected now. I guess they're intersecting though, right? There's collision here. So at least it's following it. So I know that people have mentioned it in the chat previously, but one thing that's really nice about the way that the tutorials work is that both Bob and Alice deliberately give you steps that are not going to work, which is obviously a great way to learn, but it's also very, it's a very close replica to the way that developing games works naturally. Even when you're outside of a tutorial, you do kind of incrementally make little steps forward, usually breaking things worse before you get them better. So it actually is kind of training you to accept the fact that you're going to have to move incrementally and you're going to hit walls and you're going to have to think creatively about how to solve them. So it's a really smart way of doing the tutorials, I think. Anyway, let's carry on. Select the launch object nodon and open its settings screen. Okay. Hi, Mario's new gaming channel. We're setting it to X- and Y+. Let's just have a think about why we're doing that. So that it's coming out of the end of the cannon, right? So we're connecting it to the end of the cylinder and the top of the cylinder which has been rotated, and the end of the launcher. Let's close this down. Let's have a look how it looks. There we go. Looking real good. The projectiles are coming out of the end of the cannon, just as they should. Alrighty, try moving the UFO with the left stick. Awesome. Our projectile firing UFO is complete. Don't have much range on this shot. Next, let's enhance the controls. How about we make it so that the cannon fires with the press of a button? Fishy Films asks, have you made a game? If so, does it have a code? I'm in the process of making a game. I haven't finished it. So I don't have a code for it yet, but I definitely will once it goes live. Go to input, button press B, and call up a button nodon. Now connect the launch object nodon and the button nodon. Bing. With that connection, pressing B will cause the projectiles to launch. Woo! Fire the cannon! Yeah! Bang, bang, bang! Man, you're really into this. You're a nodon. Oh, this is the launch object nodon. Man, you're really into this. You're a nodon after my own heart. Okay, let's test it on the game screen. Alright, so I'm gonna get my Joy-Con. And I'm pressing B. There we go. There is still quite a long interval between presses because of the launch interval timer that we had set up previously. Holding down B. Okay. They're just coming out in a slow drip, right? Yeah, we noticed. Perhaps we should change it so the projectiles are fired continuously when the button is held down. Open up the settings screen for the launch object Nodon. Okay, and we're going to lower the launch interval and head back. Topat says, or maybe there's a way to change the background entirely. Have you looked at the world Nodon? There's a lot of ways to change things there. Adam Lee asks, is this game worth it since I have Mario Golf pre-ordered? I mean, that's entirely up to you. There is going to be less game here than in Mario Golf, but there's lots more creative building. Oh, look at that. Got a stream of peas. Pew pew pew! But there's something else that I'm starting to wonder about. Press B again to launch some projectiles if you would. After being fired, the projectiles fall downwards. Yeah, we noticed. And that's not so good. We wanted the shots to fly straight. Oh, Topap followed up by saying, no, I mean like using my designs and making the area go somewhere else and not on screen. Yes, yeah. I think that would be handled through the, maybe like the camera Nodon? You can kind of jump it to different locations, definitely. To make the projectiles fly straight, we need to change it so they're no longer affected by the force of gravity. To do that, so let's remove gravity from this world entirely. Oh, okay. Time to take control of gravity. Call up the Reduce Gravity Nodon. Okay, go to Output. Oh, hey, you called at last. What's up? Whoa! Sounds like Pac-Man from Pac-Man World. Is that what it's called? This Reduced Gravity Nodon is just what we need. Supply it with a signal, and it will banish gravity from the level. Let's call up a constant Nodon so we can pass the signal onto the Reduced Gravity Nodon. Okay, so the constant's just going to send a signal to gravity constantly. Go to Input, and Constant. I am the constant Nodon, ever steadfast, gravity or no. Now connect the constant Nodon to the Reduced Gravity Nodon. Weep. A value of 1 will output a value of 1. A value of 1. Just let the whole world float away, man. Okay. Yes, look at that. We have no drop off. CPW asks how long is the live stream going to be? I usually go for about 2 hours, so that's 2 hours from when I actually started, not when the countdown started. It's starting to feel like a real deal shoot 'em up now, eh? When you've had a good old blast with that, head back to the program screen. Okay, and with that, step 2 is complete. CPW, that is to say there's at least another hour left. Good job, as ever. See how good it feels when you let it all go, man? Yo, nice one. You really put the blam in that one. In this step, we created a UFO which fires projectiles. And that's a very important step on the road to completing this game. In the next step, we're going to start building up the level's environment. Alrighty, see you in step 3. Okay. I'm going to take a very quick water break. I'm going to be here. I'm just going to read chat for a minute and take a couple of sips of water. Papa, that game sounds really cool. Maybe instead of trying to change the area to a different region, is there any way you could have the new region kind of slide into frame? I'm not sure. I'm just kind of spitballing here. So I saw Adam Lee was debating whether to get Mario Golf or Game Builder, and Mr. Beast just said, I would get Game Builder because someone could make Mario Golf, presumably inside Game Builder. That's pretty funny. Papa, I would say if, I suppose like me, if you get stuck, it might be worth doing some more of the tutorials, because they may cover something that that solves your issue. I want to have a look at this Alice guide actually, because I just realized it's probably going to be specifically about the UFO Nodon, which is what we're using in the Cheese Maze game. Hey, it's Alice. What's that floating thing? You mean you? Oh, the UFO. Goodness, a UFO. See if you can move it by tilting left and right. I can? It glides so mysteriously. How about a little UFO study? Some extraterrestrial investigation. Let's go to the program screen. Greetings, Dom. I've been waiting for you. I thought perhaps you wanted to know more about me and share in my cosmic secrets. You have really good timing. Okay, so let me tell you all about UFOs. We UFOs like to spend our time floating around freely in the sky. That's kind of our thing. But you know how when you put people and objects in the sky and they just kind of fall to the ground? Well, UFOs are different. They don't drop, but float in midair. So we're like swoosh and wee. Let me see. What else? Oh yeah, you can make me flit and float left and right by tilting left stick. Hi Carl, how you doing? That's because I'm connected to a stick Nodon. Hello. You see that UFO Nodon? The UFO Nodon has 3 port inputs. From the top, they're forward, backwards, left, right, up, and down. Right now, left stick is sending left and right movement information to the left-right port. So if you tilt the left stick, then the UFO will move left and right. That's right. But you want to be able to move the UFO up and down as well as left and right, right Dom? Call up a stick Nodon to transmit up and down movement. Connect to the UFO's up and down port and we'll be able to move it. Alright, we're covering old ground here. We've done this one before. Okay, there we go. I'll transmit up and down movement data too. Beautiful. Okay, back to the program screen. Easy, right? Okay, what's next? Oh, let's try moving in different directions. Switch the destination of the up-down control stick movement from my up-down port to my forward-backward port. Yeah. You can program a UFO to move along on 3 dimensions: forward, backwards, left and right, and up and down. So this is how we have Mousy controlling in our game at the moment. Make good use of those direction ports to suit the game you want to make. Oh yeah, Dom. How fast do you want the UFO to move? Zoom zoom fast or doo leisurely fluttering? Oh doo. Okay. I can do pretty much any speed. Do you know where you can change the speed in my settings? Now you do. I know exactly where it is. There it is. And the vertical speed. Go up to 2. Head back. And give it a go. Oh, nice and quick. Yeah, quite a bit faster than... Okay, forward and backwards are horizontal too, you see. When you've had a good zoom about, let's head back to the program screen. Did you enjoy changing the horizontal speed? Then I have a suggestion. Try changing the vertical speed too. Boop, beep, zoom! Ooh, we're going down. 0.30. Let's set the UFO up and move up and down instead of back and forth again. So now we should be able to move it up, down, left and right again. In 2 dimensions. Ooh, look how slow that is. Could do, what is that, HAL Labs game that came out on the iPhone like a couple of years ago? The very, very cute UFO game. Now that the vertical speed has been reduced, it moves more slowly up and down. So now we know how to play around with the settings and really customize the UFO's speed. Let's go back to the program screen. You're back. Promise you'll make loads of fitting, floating and wishing UFOs. I promise. Make a game that's out of this world. Don't worry UFO, we're already on it. You're around. Okay. So I don't think we've necessarily learned anything that we didn't know already in these few lessons. So maybe we should go back into our game, see if we can reach kind of a breakthrough in anything, and if not, we can always progress along the Alien Blaster tutorials. Hi Agatha. Oops, wrong screen. Mousie's Cheese Maze. Okay, I've definitely got to disconnect the oh no, it's fine. Yeah, white noise is connected. Okay. So I think I want to make it so that we can only collect the cheese when we breathe it in. Excuse me, I'm just gonna get some water. Okay. Yeah. So at the moment, when we play, we can just bump into it. But I think we want to make sure that people really do use the breathing in. So I think in order to do that, we'll need to go to this object, which is currently set to destructive, and disable it, which will mean we can't break anything, I think. Yeah, so right now we can only knock them around. But that applies to even if we eat the cheese. So we need to figure out a way to make it so that we need to make it so that we can only destroy objects when we're pressing a button, which I don't exactly know how to do yet. I just saw Mr. Beast is saying, can you make a button to toggle gravity? Yes, it won't apply to the UFO though, because gravity doesn't apply to it, but it would be something like this. So I go button, press A. I would go... where is it? Where? I can never find anything. Output. There we go. Thank you very much, Danny160. And then connect that up. It will be as simple as that, I believe. Let's have a look. So as I say, it won't apply to the mouse, but it will apply to the object. So if I press A... Oh, they're not movable. Oh, they are movable. Okay, let's have a look. Maybe something wasn't set. We need to put an input. So that would be a... What are they called? Be a counter, wouldn't it? Counter. Count up. There we go. Well, that continues to count up. I think we can change the setting. Maybe bounce. And connect it up. I mean, this is just a test. We won't include this in the game, but just to show you. There we go. So we now have zero gravity enabled. I'm holding down A. You can see the box is floating above me, and then I let go. Oh no, because the value is still set to go up, so we can't undo it. But there you go. That's kind of an example of how you could turn on zero gravity. You know, if you spent a bit more time on it, you could get it far more functional than that. That was the most basic inclusion of it. Right, so as I was saying, I want to figure out how to make it so that we can break. We've got destructibility, but only when a button is pressed. I don't know. Don't know how to do that, so I'm just going to have a look. This is the Nodonpedia. Or Nodopedia, I think it's called. I'm going to look in the destructive section. Maybe it was that link. Just skimming through. I'll read it out if it's useful. Object destruction speed. That's interesting. Destroy object Nodon. Let's have a look at that. There should totally be a Nodon search. Can't believe that there isn't one. Cyberfreak says, I wish learning Python was this entertaining. Tell me about it, yeah. Just Nodonify everything, please. Strings. I'm just going to throw this in, see what that is. Destroy object, there we go. So this is likely the one that we'll need. Hey, that one guy on the internet, good to see you. So let's look at these settings for destroy object. This Nodon will destroy any applicable object that touches it. If you connect an input, you can use it to switch this Nodon's destructive abilities on and off. Bam, we got it, it's this one. what are we making? We're continuing work on the mousy cheese maze, or whatever we called it. That classic video game genre. Cheese maze game. Okay, so we have destroy object here. We want it connect up to the button. Okay, that's interesting. I wish it showed you a value here. And we want to link that to here, I believe. We now need to set the size and the location. Let's make it visible for a moment and just test this out. Alright, so at the moment it's a big cube over Mousy. Oh yeah, that one guy. Mousy is like souped up now. Don't worry about it. Amazing. Okay, so we nailed it. Oh, first try. Well, didn't mean for those two cheeses to break each other. Okay, so I'll talk you through what I just did there. So my thinking was we only want to be able to destroy the cheese when Mousy's got his mouth open, right? So we linked up the destroy object Nodon to the B button, which is the same button that opens his mouth. We then connected that to the cylinder that is his body. Thanks, BitBros. Meaning that in the game, it attaches itself to Mousy. Now, we probably don't need it to be this big, because I've just switched to the side view for a moment. Where is... There's destroy object. We probably want it to be taller. We don't need it to be this big. Mousy isn't that big. And we may want to change it to a cylinder, so it's a bit more representative of Mousy's shape. And I'm going to leave it visible for now. I can turn it off. Those outlines we can all turn off, but I think while we're building the game, it's useful to keep an eye on those. There we go. So a little box around, or a cylinder around Mousy, the closest one, which when we tap A, destroys the box. At the moment they can destroy each other, which is not good. I didn't realize that any of them had destructive still configured to them, so let's... Dankespresso says, how can I link a sprite to a player character like that? It's done using a... what's this one called? A texture Nodon and an object Nodon connected to the top port of the player character Nodon. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, I wanted to... I was thinking about this. Having like lines that appear when you're breathing in the cheese. But for some reason I couldn't get the orientation to work. You see, it should be showing up now, and it isn't. Oh, I was also getting the destructive off on the cheese. Oh, thank you, Alex. That's very kind. Yeah, I didn't realize that these were still set to destructive. It's very funny. Get that off, so the cheese shouldn't be able to destroy itself any longer. Turn that off. And last but not least, I should also say our level is very, very basic, very, very small. And the reason for that is that I just want to get the mechanics of the game started, you know, really working first, before I start developing the level and making that look pretty and stuff. I feel like we're very, very close though. I think Mousy is controlling nicely. And I think the attract is working really nicely. Okay, so let's push 2 blocks of cheese into each other. Okay, yep, they don't destroy any longer. Nice. But... oof. Hey, beautiful. Oh, Danny160, that's a great suggestion. What if you also add expired cheese that's green and hurts you if you eat it? So, I like that idea a lot. I had an idea. I was talking with someone earlier today, and they made a great suggestion about having bombs as well in the stage that you obviously don't want to try and eat those. I think the expired cheese is basically the same function and is even more thematically in line. I like that a lot. CPW, I don't know whether you can give uploaded levels likes. That's a good question. I haven't played any other levels yet. I've only done the tutorials and built my own. We'll find out when I do my stream with user-generated levels. A bomb in a cheese wedge. Yeah, perfect. Mix the two ideas together. Okay. So let me just do one other thing with the movement. Where is our UFO? It's over here. So I just wanted to confirm that this is the fastest horizontal speed. I seem to think it is. Yeah. Okay, not to worry. And our turning speed's good as it is. Bit Bros, I already have a plan for some puzzles linking to the cheese. So it was actually why I wanted to see about how we turn gravity off for certain items. Or certain objects, I should say. Because I want it so that you have to attract the cheese over gaps that you cannot traverse otherwise. Silver Sharp, I am enjoying this game a lot. I think the tutorials are really in-depth and they're a great way to get you into the free programming. I'm kind of just ingesting them in little chunks because they can be overwhelming despite how accessible the game is, just that volume of information. I forget stuff really quick, so I usually just do a couple of levels and then come back to my own game and see if I can develop ideas from that. The tutorials are very, very fun. So if we go into the object that is attached to Mousy's body, for example, let's start with the one up here that's the default one. And we change this to 0 gravity. I hope that that isn't going to detach it from the UFO. Let's just check. Nope, doesn't seem to have. Good. So let's do that to all of these. And the reason I'm doing this is, as I said before, I want to introduce some pits to the stage. And I want Mousy to be able to traverse them because there will be something that hurts Mousy for going over them but doesn't cause Mousy to fall. It will be clear when I do it even. Okay, is that everything? I don't think we need to do it with this. Yeah, we don't even have an option there. Good, good, good. Do we need to do it with this? No. Awesome. So if that's working as I suspect, yeah, we can still move around easily. The UFO can come down a little bit. It's currently a bit too high. So the UFO is the character that the mouse is attached to. Yep, great. It was poking through before, but now it's not. Let's go back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock this ground plane while I test out a theory. I'm going to unlock it and move it out entirely. So that cheese has fallen into the abyss. Terrifying. But Mousy doesn't. That's great. That's exactly what I want to happen. It's very funny seeing Mousy actually on the UFO now. Okay, so stage 1 of my plan is complete. The second stage is to actually make this some kind of real hazard. And I think I'm going to do that by duplicating this object. Let's lock them back down again. Yeah, Mousy's secret revealed. He's actually an alien. Okay. The cheese fell again, that's fine. But we do have a route round here. What's this? Why is this overlapping? I didn't realize that it stuck out so far. Bye, cheese. Okay, great. I'm going to extend these platforms down quite a bit further so that you don't see the cutoff point. I can. Oops. Sorry everyone, didn't mean to start it back up there. So what I'm doing when I'm clicking that box in the top right, I'm switching between the top view and the side view. There we go. So let's see if that looks any better. I'm keeping my eye up here. Yeah, I would say that looks slightly better. But in fact, I don't think we're going to see it very clearly anyway, so it probably doesn't matter all that much. So we're going to go to Object here. We're going to copy it one more time. And this is going to be our hazard. So we're going to make it so that it is destructive. So now I think... Oh, is Mousy impervious? Let's see. Yep. Okay. So the UFO that Mousy's on is impervious, but now is destructible. Or it should be. Making Mother 3 in Game Builder Garage. Another good question, Silver Sharp. Would you say it's too cluttered building levels, or do you think it's good how it is? So the biggest gripe I have, and I don't know how they would have been able to avoid this with this system, is, you know, this is a very, very simple stage, but the way that layering is handled is definitely messy. So like if I want to click this cheese block, I'm in the bird's eye view at the moment, looking down the y-axis, I guess it would be. The ground plane is on top of the cheese, so I have to click sometimes multiple times if there's multiple layers. I think I would have liked there to be like three layers that you could switch between, as if you were working on sort of different tiers. And that wouldn't necessarily relate to the height of the object in the space, but it would just be sort of working layers, so that you could say, okay, I'm going to put all of my objects on one layer and all of my items on another. That one guy makes a really good point that your workspace is really big, so if you were tidier than I am, it would be less cluttered, but it wouldn't necessarily fix this environment making issue. I'm going back to the UFO. Oh, so we were going to look at the destroying sensor to see what this would do for us, because this might be useful here. Are there glitches in this game? There's glitches in every game. I haven't come across any yet, but there will definitely be glitches. Okay, so let's read through what the destroying sensor does. This sensor nodon is no use unless you connect it to something. Whenever something this sensor is attached to destroys something, it outputs the number of destroyed objects. Okay, so that's a useful little thing, but we won't need this right now. We may need to think about using the destroy object. Yeah, let's maybe duplicate this. And Zach Medic Gamer says, asks, how do you unlock free programming? Just by completing the first tutorial level. Danny160, I can't wait to see your I can't wait to see your mouse maze speedrun, your any percent run. So, destroy object. Let's bring this over here. Put it on top of this block. So this might help us out. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, it's still a cylinder, isn't it? That's why I can't drag it in the shape I want. Yeah, I'm going for a cheese percent run today. GrindX asks, is it possible to make an FPS? Yeah, definitely. We've seen examples of that in Labo VR, which this is based off of, but also we've seen in the trailer that Nintendo put out a first-person game. Super Mario Zeddy asks, out of 10, what would you rate this game? That's a difficult one to say. I think it's going to vary for each person, but for me, I'd say it's living up to expectations at the very least. And it's surprised me in lots of good ways. That's not a number, but that's probably the closest I can give you to an answer. So I'm in the side view now, and I'm making the destroy object volume the full height of the stage and the width of that middle strip, which I'm going to change the color of so that we can see it as its own thing. Let's make it red. We know that it's different from the rest of the stage, I should say. Yo, why is it not breaking? Did I? Whoops. That would explain it. Also, this cheese needs to move because it gets destroyed every time we start the game. What a poor cheese. Is it because the UFO is not making contact with this volume? That was the wrong thing. Is it because it's not an object? That would explain it, right? Yeah, it's probably because it's not an object. Well, it is. It's a fancy object. Or it's a character, isn't it? Yeah, so it's not an object. Give the UFO its own hitbox. Yeah. The UFO is underneath the platform, but if you look here, this is the side view. It should be well within the destroy object volume, which does go below the platform. Javier says, the basic box blocks. Once detecting another deadly block, have the Nodon destroy the UFO. Which Nodon would that be? Because that is exactly the way that I'd like to do it. I just couldn't figure out which Nodon that would be. What does the world option do? The world option lets you change some parameters about how the world looks. So if there's a plane, which is just like your floor, you can have that as a dome, a cuboid, a cylinder, a sphere. You can change the lighting. You can change the appearance of blocks. So if I turn on neon, everything is very glowy, which is actually a great look for this game, honestly. Maybe we can do that before we finish it up. It's nice to keep it plain while we're editing, though. Definitely does look better that way, Brink. I agree. I will probably set it to that before I finish the game. Okay, I need to focus while I figure this out. Chat will answer questions in a bit. So let's go back to the destroy and just have a look at some of these settings. Ah, so silly. We just need to set it up to destroy the UFO. Ah, look, if you just take a moment to look, it's the solution is obvious. I think this is going to fix it. Oof, Mousy had a bad time. Alright, so we should probably make it so all of these elements get destroyed as well, because that is traumatic. Javier, yeah, I couldn't work out what you meant, but I knew exactly the way you were suggesting to do it. I just couldn't work out what the combination of things was. Mario's new gaming channel says respawn feature. Definitely. So we have the level reset or retry based on the completion of the current objective, which is collecting 5 pieces. But we should definitely have one set up to respawn you when you die. Folks, I just had an idea. Yeah, Avocado Einstein. Exactly. We arrived at the same solution at the same time. You should do the teleport. Yeah, we shouldn't destroy it. That's just going to make things complicated. We should teleport, because that will solve our respawn issue at the same time. So let's get rid of the destroy object and replace this with... Can anyone remember where the teleporter is? Hi, Sipcot. Output. Of course. Maybe not. Connections? Oh, look at all this. I've never even looked in here. That's exciting. It's not going to be in here. This is all the sort of logic stuff, isn't it? Teleport is an object. Am I just missing it? Not launch object. Teleport object. Ugh. Right there. Okay. Thanks, chat. Okay, so let's set up an entrance. Apologies. I can imagine. I can hear you. I don't even have to imagine. I'm sure I heard at least one of you screaming right here. Okay, so let's move this up and stretch it out. And we'll only want this to be able to teleport Mousy, nothing else. So let's uncheck this, set it to UFO, and we'll leave it visible for debugging. Okay. Oh, we need the receiver, don't we? Otherwise, what will happen to us? Will we just be teleported into nothingness? Oh, crud. Okay, I do need to bring those other elements with me. Okay, let's go back in here. So what is it? It's basically a bunch of spheres. Oh, sorry, cylinders. I think that's all it is. I think that should be everything. Let's do the other half of the teleporter while we're here anyway. Whoops. Exit. Ooh. Hey, hey. Let's stretch it out to the correct height. We're in side view here, so we're doing height on the object. And then let's go into top view and get it positioned where it needs to be, which is basically just where the UFO spawns. Ugh, keep moving the wrong thing. Okay, it's connected to teleport ID 1. Annoying. Okay, so the UFO pops up out of the level when we do that. Soul 70, is there a hitbox? You mean on this character or in the game? I didn't drag the UFO up, did I? No, it's still through the ground as it should be. Has it got... Not solid. So it's weird that it's doing that. Oh, the position of the teleport exit. Thanks so much. Yes, a great shout. Will this be enough? Thank you. Who was that? Brink. Thanks so much. Oh, wrong view. Sorry. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, there's no reason for it to be this high, is there? It's not like it's something that we could get around. Just a case of having it spawn. Yeah, I was not thinking when I placed that. There we go! Chat, we did it! System Studio Software asks, is it possible to write texts? Yes, it is. We had some on the level, but we actually got rid of it. Yeah, you just set it as an object. Okay, so we now have our hazard. It's pretty basic looking, and it's pretty simple in the way that it functions, but it's a starting point. And we can send the cheese over and collect it using Mousy's amazing Kirby-esque powers. Oof, we got bounced into the teleporter there. Okay. Brink says put the exit invisible. I'm going to leave all of those kind of things visible while we're troubleshooting. It's just easier to keep track of it for me. Thank you very much, Ellie Gamer Man. Right, so I don't think there's enough space here to really get around this corner as I intended. So I'm just going to do some very quick shuffling here. Oops, undo that. Didn't mean to do that. So yeah, I'm in the bird's eye view and I'm just shuffling the teleport over so it's not quite as tricky. And I'm gonna move this over. We've just got a little bit more room, and in fact we should probably move this way a tiny bit as well. There we go, nice. Awesome. Can I do something with the hazard to make it look more dangerous? I might draw a texture on it, but I'm just seeing, is there there's not like anything specifically I can set in here, is there? Okay, so let's bring texture up. Delane says flames, yeah, have some fire or some electricity. I'm guessing it's an object, right? Texture, there we go. Just waiting for a Nodon that sounds like Wally. Okay, so let's get drawing. Let's get scratching. Can you connect the world object to a Nodon? I don't believe so. I can check for you. Doesn't seem like there's anything here I could connect it to. I don't know what its input would be. We could have a look in the Nodopedia, see if there's anything there. Sirichi says, was that a US accent? I was trying to do that line from Jet Set Radio. So it was a nondescript Jet Set Radio accent. World Nodon. Yeah, look, input and output non. It does have an upper connection port, which can be connected to the port of another Nodon to physically link the objects, but no ins and outs. Right, we were doing a texture, weren't we? CPW says make the texture of spikes. I think if I was doing that... Oh my goodness, I just had an idea. Oh. Okay, let's just do the flames. Because I've got another idea. Or lava or whatever we're going to draw here. Oh, I hope this works. This would be so good if I can pull it off. So I'm just going to do some like very, very basic rippling. Is that the same color? I'm going to do some very basic rippling kind of lava looking thing first of all. This is just going to be placeholder. And I'm going to have it so it's loopable. The poisonous cheese idea is great. We will get to that eventually, Carl. It was suggested elsewhere as well. Ooh, we need a sound for when you teleport as well. Okay, so that lava's looking alright. CBW, I don't know what the texture of poison would be. Like skulls or something? Devin Wolf says you have to make the UFO invisible. The reason I haven't, I just remembered, the reason I haven't is because I want the tail. I love the tail too much. I'm using the aerial as a tail. So that's the reason I'm keeping it visible. Hey White, how you doing? Add stink lines for poison cheese. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So let's do the teleport sounds. We're going to go to the teleport. We're going to go output, play sound, play SFX. What are the ports on the teleport? Oh, we need to output to a counter, don't we, I guess? Is that what it's going to be? Maybe? You need a touch sensor to do this. Oh, thank you, Devin. Okay. So I can't have it, I can't output from the teleporter. Guess not, it's an input, isn't it? Import a count to it, that's interesting. Okay, let's try the touch sensor then. Where is it? Where is it? Touch sensor. Oh, come on. Get out of there. Make it big for a moment. Go into the settings. And go in here and change it over to UFO. And output timing on touch, I think. Just put it here for now. We'll move it into the correct position shortly. I just want to be able to quickly test if this works. Hey, nice and easy. Did you hear that? Nice. Okay. Beautiful stuff. So let's get the touch sensor in the correct place. I'm doing the full height just in case we ever have to go up on a different layer for any objective or anything. I don't know whether we would, but I just want to ensure that works okay. Top view now. Stretch it out. Come on, touch sensor, let me reach you. I'm gonna lock these down. There we go. It's good to get into a habit of locking things down because it does make the issue of overlapping things a little less troublesome. Okay, that's working. So let's get a good sound in there. We need a... Let's have a listen. So this is like drum kits and stuff. Vibra slap, that's pretty good. Devin, could you clarify why I must connect a touch input to the teleport entrance? I'm curious to know what your thinking is. Maybe I missed. I'll keep my eye out for your message. Going to system sounds. Not loving any of these, to be honest. I want something a little bit more natural. They're a bit too obnoxious. No. Ooh, that's pretty good. Let's try that for the moment. Man, that's a killer that it pushes you back so strongly there. Gets me every time. Did it hit the ledge there? Is that what happened? Nice. There we go! Cool. Can you fix the delay after teleport triggers? Is there a sound delay or a reaction delay, you mean? Make a mousetrap, yeah. I think that sound delay is coming from my capture software. Hang on a sec. Because let me just try something. Alright, chat, pay attention for a moment. I'm gonna bring up a keyboard on my Switch. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can figure out like a kind of delay test here, because I think that might be my capture software causing the delay. Where is it? Here we go. Okay. Can you hear my Joy-Con moving? And is the sound between the Joy-Con and the in-game sound delayed for you? Does it seem like that's delayed? Yeah, okay, it's delayed. Alright. Let me try and fix that. I'll only be a second. Cool. Everybody in chat is saying yes. Sorry, it's because there is a delay. There is also a stream and chat delay too. Okay, so I've upped it a little bit. How's it now? That seems worse. that sounded a little better, right? Am I just imagining it, or is that slightly improved? Yeah, okay. I wonder why that's happening. We might have to put up with it for now. Oh, it's definitely slightly better when I have it turned on. Okay, yeah, let's just go with it. It's the best we can do. Alright, I'm just going to quickly read chat. Because I want to know, I really truly want to know what Devon is telling me to do. Devon Wolf, you say you still need to connect the touched output to the teleport input. Okay, so I'm just going to immediately do what you said. The touched output to the teleporter input. Why? Why? I mean, I appreciate the suggestion, but I don't exactly know what was not working before. Because nothing's changed there, right? In terms of the actual function of the game. Hey Harry, how you doing? Woohoo! Should make the function slightly better. Okay, well, good to know. The sound isn't delayed anymore. Oh, great! That's good to know. Nice. Feeling good about what we got so far. Add a timer to delay the restart like the tutorial. Good suggestion. Let's give it a go. So that would be between the touch sensor and the teleporter, right? It would go in this this connection. Zero says, that mouse sucks. I agree. It really does suck. Devon Wolf, I will turn off the sense of visibilities before I finish the game, but while I'm problem solving, I'm going to leave them on. Alright, let's do timer. Okay, it's getting kind of funky over here. Let me just figure this out. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, this is exactly what I mean about once they're all overlapping, it does get a bit messy. Put a big delay on that just for the moment so we can test it out. Oh, the delay is coming at the right time. Thank you very much, Green Ninja. I appreciate that. Man, I cannot pass what's happening here. That object is good. Alright, nothing going on there. Our touch sensor is here. Let's just drag them out for a minute while we're working this out. They don't need to all be here. I'll bring them back. So touch is just being used for play sound, right? And teleport needs a timer. You can connect, Brink says you can connect a touch to an object. You mean like this? So would touch still work even with it off screen? Nice. Awesome to know. Thank you very much, Brink. No need for timer. Do you just do it within teleport? Where is it within teleport? See you, Val. Nope, doesn't look like there's time in teleport. Nope, only can be grabbed or cannot be grabbed. I think you need a timer node. I thought so too, but getting conflicting results or conflicting answers from chat. Let's give it a try. I mean, I only did that tutorial the other day and I've already forgotten. It's alright, let's throw a teleport down here. I said way too long. I broke this. Then broke it all. Is teleport even working at all anymore? It is, right. Man, I wish I could remember how to do the timer. Should we just very quickly go into... the tutorial again? To remind ourselves, we'll just drop in. And in fact, we can do it here, can't we? If I copy this, you can see the editor here. There is a... Oh, there isn't a timer here. I could have sworn they added a delay to this. Ah, Brink says touch activate the timer, timer activate the teleport. Wrong game, what am I doing? Here we go. Why does that keep happening? I click the mouse and it goes to on a roll. Okay, so we're gonna go timer. Touch is gonna activate the timer. Timer activate the teleporter. Oh, you love to see it. This is gonna be it, I think. There we go. Can we get over that gap in the time? We can, okay, so it needs to be shorter than that. Great suggestion. Who was it? That was Brink. Thank you so much. That's made everything a lot easier. Go half that time. Just so it's not as instantaneous and jarring. Yeah, that's better. Oh, Colin, I've seen, I saw that you and a couple of other people are posting your creation codes in chat. If you want a place to more permanently put them, we have a section on our Discord. I can put the link in the chat now. In fact, I might pin it. That is a good place to post the codes. They'll be much easier for people to keep an eye on there, I think. As in, you know, copy and paste them at a later date. Alright, I'm posting it in now. Thank you very much, Haley. I hope my game comes out well too. Okay. There's the Discord link. I'll pin it. Right, back to game. So I really love that delay there. Works really nicely. Probably do with being a tiny bit longer. Oops. Go up to 0.60. Alright, let's throw caution to the wind and go 0.65. Yeah, nice. Alright. Okay. Cheese can still make it over okay. Oh, the thing I wanted to do was add the sprite for when we open our mouth. It's still up here, but it's just on the wrong face, I think. So which one do I want it on? I want it on... Yeah, I would have guessed center Y. Is this rotated? You could definitely make a fighting game, yeah. Let me turn the visibility on here a second. Where even is it? Too low. Should be connected to... Oh, it's not connected to anything, right? There's a bloody UFO. Hang on. Whoa. What? Oh, I connected to a block, did I? Alright, UFO. Object. Okay, so there's the cylinder. Why is the texture not on the right face? Just do center center and see what happens. Okay, not that. Do... do Y and plus Y. Okay, that looks good. So that should be doing it now if we turn off visibility on the cylinder. But it will be in the wrong position. There we go. So scale's wrong, position is wrong, but it's a start. It kind of looks like he's yelling now. What? Oh, Diego suggests maybe at the start of the game there could be a little hole where the mouse comes from. I love that idea. In fact, I'm going to do it right away. What a great suggestion. Do it as a cylinder. And change the height. Brink says add a cat leg trying to catch the mouse. I also love that suggestion. That might be a longer project though. Okay, so a couple of things we need to change. Hey Devin, I'll have to time you out if you continue on that way. Okay, so we're no longer destructive, destructible, or solid. Means we'll be able to move through it easily. Yep. Then we need to turn it over. Let's do that in rotation. So I think we want to rotate it on the y-axis. Let's go plus 90. No. Let's just do it this way then. There we go. Yes, we'll definitely do poison cheese goodie. That's the plan next. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna set this to black. And then what I'll do is I'll put a block just sat slightly back from it. Hey new gems. Hey, welcome back Bit Bros. Let's go objects, simple objects, box. Didn't mean to connect that. Come on, let me add it. There we go. Hi Lucas. Cheeses with abilities, asks Matthew the Jester. That is a great shout too. Some like status effects from the cheeses. We've got so many ideas going here. Let's also go orange. Look at that. That's not bad. Reposition the hole though. Too high and too far back. Rats. Is that going to be too far forward now? Yeah, smaller, I think. Oh, it's right on the same position. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we just need to get the alignment right from the top view. Right, that's the side view, isn't it? Top view. Right. There, I guess. Hmm. Come on. A little bit fiddly here. That'll do. That's good for now, I think. We can put a block underneath it to make it look more like a mouse hole in a bit, but it's functional. Matthew the Jester asks, any obstacles to watch out for or planning to make? So right now we have this pit here, which when you make contact with, you get sent back to the start. I want to make a mousetrap. I want to do the poison cheese though next. I still have the this that I want to offset. And I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do that. So maybe instead of adding it to whatever it's connected to at the moment, what is it connected to at the moment? Oh, the UFO. Maybe we'll connect it to like the open mouth sprite, or the object that's attached to the open mouth sprite. Okay. Not bad. We need to scale it down though. Right, the object's still too big. Look at this. We need our object to be the same size. It's a better size, definitely. So if the texture shows on the Y center, then is it possible for us to connect it on the I'm also going to just set it to box. It doesn't need to be cylinder, does it? Can we do it on the X minus, would it be? I want to offset this, and I can't remember how I did it with the traction. Brink, very kind. I think we've got a long way to go before we get anywhere near that, though. Let's look at the cylinder. Let's remind ourselves with the attract object what I did. X minus, Z minus. Oh, but I also used the center of attraction. What was it? X minus Z minus. I don't think that's going to work here, but I'm going to try. I hope it does. Aha, it's a start. Alright, nice. So, if we just give this the old rotate. Yes! Ooh, got real bouncy there. Oh, beautiful. So I'm going to update the sprite, make it a little bit nicer now that I know it's working. I can probably also shift it slightly back. Or I'll just make the sprite a little bit smaller. Batata asks, what Nodon changes the texture for this animation? I'll show you now. So for this animation, I'm using... The animation is triggered by a button press. The button press goes into the texture nodon, which is connected to this object. Yeah, simple as that. So button, texture, the object. That's just another connection. Just that little loop there. But I think you need to set it so that while pressed might help. The Enix, no, the game's not finished. We've still got a long way to go. Alright, let's redraw this texture. No worries, I hope that helps. Okay, so I'm gonna pretty much start from scratch on this. It was not a great drawing before. I kind of want to add... I'm trying to think, what would... Okay, so I think breathing in would do something like this. We have like big puff, and then lines come out. Maybe this will work a bit better. Barry's New Gaming Channel says this game should be on PC. Yeah, I mean it basically is with a mouse. Yes, that looks good. That definitely looks better. There's still room for improvement, but I like that for now. Cool. Oh, how many Nodons do we currently have in the game? That's a good question. If I pause, I can bring that up. We have 72 Nodons and 43 connections, so we got plenty of room still. When I finish the game, Leonix, I will definitely share the code, for sure, yeah. Matthew, I'm pretty confident that you could make cutscenes. I just haven't gotten to the camera control stuff yet. Okay, I'm just going to quickly adjust one thing on this texture, which is that the... I think the cloud kind of wind that I've made here is a bit too far forward still. So let's go like... It's so hard to see when you're using white against transparency. Let's go sort of like... that, and get rid of the top bit. I'm going to lean right into my my screen, get the contrast nice and sharp, and then extend these lines down a bit further. Yeah, a small change, but I like it. Wait, what triggered the, what just triggered the teleport noise? Something triggered the teleport noise. Was it the cube? Yeah, it wasn't the cube. Oh, it was my butt. Whoa! This isn't a mouse hole, this is a cannon launcher. Huh. Something's detached, hasn't it? How many colors are there? There's lots. So even though you've only got 8 in a palette at once, you can switch between them on the fly. I don't know. I don't fancy counting. What is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 blocks of 9. Okay, poison cheese it is. So let's grab one of these. Let's copy it. Work over here for now. And let's copy this. And we'll just connect that up as before. We'll go in here. I mean, it already looks pretty gross on this screen. These are not good sprites. These will also have to change at some point, I think. But I'll probably do that off stream. I want to do 800 viewers, nice. I want to do green cheese, definitely. But I want to do some stink lines too, and I have an idea for how to do that. I'm not going to do it on the cube. I'm going to have it as a texture that animates above the cube, I think. Hi Desync, how you doing? You just clicked on the stream to see how crazy this game can get. Hey, this is like baby's first game that I'm playing as well, or that I'm building. Just you wait, people are going to make some amazing things. M. Henders asks, is there a way to make proper pixel art? This is about as proper as it gets in this game. There's no onion skinning, there is no kind of timeline for animating, but you will be able to do cool things with it. You'll just have to do it in the programming screen rather than through a more fully fledged texture editor setup. Okay, so let's put our test, a disgusting cheese in as a test. I'm not going to do anything right now, I just want to see that it looks distinct from the others. A bit too pale, isn't it? Make that green even greener. Oh yeah, really putrid cheese. Something funky's happened. Ah, is contact still on the on something over here? That would make sense. No, we need movable. An airplane Nodon. There's probably a combination of Nodons you could use to make an airplane. In fact, I would say with some confidence that is definitely possible. I would love to know what is happening when I spawn here now. Didn't happen that time. Yeah, there we go. Something is making contact and I don't know what it is. That wasn't happening before. Oh! Oh! Did you see that? See that cylinder? Where is that coming from? Is that cylinder disconnecting from me or is it in the space? Oh, poor Mousy. Maybe the UFO? Nothing has changed on it though, I don't know why. Melted teeth, yeah, I love the idea of power-up cheeses. We'll do that next. Zan asks, doesn't the car look like the one from the Labo set? Yep, it does. It's the same model. Yeah, so the UFO isn't solid. Oh, is something here still solid? Something that we made in the mouse hole? No. How strange. Aha! We found it. Are we going to need that to be solid, though? That's also not the issue. Weird. Turn that back on, because that's not the issue, and we might need that to be solid for something else. We added something, didn't we? This one? I don't know. We might have to leave that for now. The cheese looks good though. So the thing I wanted to do with the cheese was animate some stink lines on it. Disgusting. Matthew the Jester says at the end of the game the mouse should vomit all the cheese in front of its family for them to eat. JPlays asks, what kind of game are you making? It's that classic video game genre, the cheesy maze game. I don't know, it's some kind of top-down puzzle action game. Flies that fly around the stinky cheese, that would work too. So let's make a special object texture. The reason I was thinking of the stink lines was that I think we'd be able to do it very easily with just a few lines, but I like that fly idea too. Let me just try something. Oh, we shouldn't make them black because the holes on the cheese are black, so let's change that to maybe like a very dark blue, like a blue bottle kind of color. Let's just do 3 actually. Hang on, let's get rid of that one and that one. And let's have the position be like this. So we're going to have 3 that we're going to have kind of randomly fly around the screen. And their little wings. I feel like we've gotten to the time of year when there are actually a lot of flies around. So annoying. Yes, you can zoom in for more detail control. I'm not worried about them being too precise here, but yeah, you can zoom in like this and move around with the Joy-Con and draw with the mouse. Okay, so there's our flies. Oh, interesting. You can have... What will happen here with 2 textures on one object? Helps if the object's in the scene. Mate, I wish I could work out what was happening with this collision at the start. I might drag the mouse hole we made away for now. Sad to see it go, but I just need to troubleshoot this. Yeah, we're still working on Mousy Maze. Teleport objects have not got a collision, have they? No. I'm not moving on purpose just to see if it's that. It's the UFO, I think, but there's no collision on. How weird. No. If anyone can figure this out, I would be very grateful. Mouse and Mouse Ears, says Mario's New Gaming Channel. Let's give it a go. I think something on them needs collision to remain, right? Not solid. Not solid. Not solid. So that's the only solid bit. And it's still happening. Not solid. Not solid, can't be. No, I haven't planned how many levels there'll be yet. I just want to get it working first. Maybe because the mouse cylinder does. Yeah, no, I think that was a good suggestion, but... Yeah, I think it sounds like the compatibility with the mice is really, as in USB mice, not mousey from this game. It seems to be really hit and miss. It doesn't seem to be for any particular reason that certain mice don't work, just some don't work. But I've heard that it's fairly good across the board. Most mice work. I'm just going to test something. What's the mouse's name? I think we called it Mousy yesterday. Not very creative, but... Okay, so I'm making the floor below the spawn point not solid. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. This one, just for a test. See if it's that. No. Oh! Are we... Okay, so collision being off is a problem. Are we just spawning in too small a space? I need to turn collision back on for... at least this one. Rat the Mouse. No, we already named him, but that's very funny. I'm colliding with something, or something is detaching. I can hear it. Let's change the orientation of the game screen like was suggested. Is this the closest wall? Okay, get out of here, close wall. Hang on, let's see that again. Look. We're sinking. Is that normal? See you, Zen. Look. Is it Joy-Con drift? No, I think my Joy-Con's okay. I mean, we can test that really easily now. Nintendo have effectively made a Joy-Con drift detector here. So yeah, no movement on that unless I'm pressing it. Wouldn't you look happy if you were a UFO, Multi-Teeth? The animations, yes, it's attached to a UFO. That's the secret. Yeah, something's really not happy. Let's just let's just set the height up really high for a second. This is so strange. I don't get why this was working previously. Floor collision? Well, oh right, floor collision being off? But the UFO should float, right? Oh, is something... I think I figured it out. Something doesn't have zero gravity in its material. That'll be it. Pretty confident that'll be it. Oh. Well, there goes that theory. There it is. Okay. Still happening. What a strange bug. Do you hear that? The kind of bumping sound. Something is colliding here, for sure. Also, look at that kind of like underside shot of Mousy looking super weird. Looking like we were never meant to see him. Let's see if that happens again from a different area. Yeah, good suggestion. Go back to overhead view for a second. So it doesn't seem to be happening now we're set. Now we're set at the right height. Because I went through the teleporter, it set me to the correct height. But have I lost some functionality? No? Yeah, the way the different hitboxes interact. But is it happening elsewhere? Not really in the same way. I think that's just because of my rotation speed that's happening there. I'll probably turn the rotation speed down a little bit. Half as fast. Was it just that? Was it seriously that? That's super weird. Oh, that's too slow. Even if that was to work, that's too slow. Move this back in. Hmm. Zoom out and go to the side view because I want to see. I get the feeling something's falling when we spawn. Or not. Where is the game view? There it is. Yeah, I wish I could figure that out, but I don't know what's wrong with it. I think what I might do is leave it here for now in this, and just give maybe one of Alice's things a try, because I'm gonna wrap up fairly shortly. In fact, let's look at building the level in Alien Blaster. That'd be a nice way to close out, I think. Welcome back, Dom. Here we are at step 3 of Alien Blaster already. Hit the last step. Hit the last step. What is this? Speaking of bug testing, hit the last step? Come on. We used a connection to make sure that the projectiles fired from the cannon. And we removed gravity so the projectiles would fly straight. Not to mention adding the ability to fire projectiles in the first place. What a feature-packed step. So what's next? Don't you think it's time we found some enemies to blast? Well, funnily enough, in this step we're going to build up the level with walls and some enemies. Alrighty, let's get programming. Mario's New Gaming Channel says, what is it? I think it was a typo. I think it was meant to say in the last step. First things first, let's see what we can give, if we can give... What is going on? First thing first, let's see if we can give the atmosphere. Am I going crazy? Or is this just like broken dialogue box? First things first, let's see if we can give. Nintendo! Come on! Alright. Give it a more epic feel, anyway. We'll be making a change which affects the feel of the whole level. So go to Objects, World, and call up the World Nodon. Okay, shall do. 2 typos in a row! 2 in a row! Okay, let's open up the World Nodon. We're going to change the world shape to non. And outer space. Give can give can give. You took your first steps into a wider world. Mr. Beast says Nintendo made this at the bar. They wrote Bob's script on a napkin the night before it launched. Can we get a give can give in chat? Alrighty, let's see how it looks. Oh, space looks awesome. Give can give is cracking me up. Oh, cosmic vibes, we need him after that mess. We're edging ever closer to the look of this game needs. All we need now is a few enemy aliens to complete the scene, don't you think? Let's go back to the program screen to take care of it. Let's get right to creating our alien menace. Oh, Austin Island put give can give can give can give in chat, but I think YouTube thought it was spam and it blocked it. There we go. Let's get right to creating our alien menace. Go to Objects, Fancy Objects, Round Fancy Objects, Alien, and call a Fancy Object Nodon. The animation says, is that the alien's, no. It's a gun. Okay. Objects, Fancy Objects. Round Fancy Objects. Alien. Oh! A pink body against a jet black sky. Ah, oh, poetic. What a wonderfully grotesque alien. It's a great effect. Mentos, give can give. Nintendo 2021. It's the most famous line in gaming history. Open up the settings screen for the Fancy Object Nodon. Enable only visible, solid, destructible, and destructive. There we go. And let's set its y-axis rotation to 90. Alrighty, let's have a look at our alien. Our fiendish alien makes its debut. It looks very, very cute for a fiendish alien. Without further ado, let's try blasting it. Be gone! What skill? You vaporized the alien. Okay, you destroyed the alien. Hit retry. The alien doesn't want to hurt us. I don't know why we're shooting it. Oops. I just started shooting immediately instead of doing what it told me to do. No response. You might even say the UFO is too powerful. And I mean it's way too powerful. Perhaps we ought to make it so the UFO is destroyed in contact with the alien then. To the program screen. Open up the UFO Nodon's settings screen. BitBros asks what happened with your game. We had a weird little bug and I decided to take a break and come back to it another time. And we're finishing up with this UFO tutorial. Okay, open up the UFO's Nodon settings screen. Oh my, we've upped the ante here. Tee-hee, I'm going to get a cosmic crack when I collide with that flying fiend. Okay, let's fly into it. Oof. I salute you, UFO. You put up a brave fight. Our enemy alien is complete. Just one invader doesn't quite cut it though, right? Not very menacing. How about adding more alien? Okay, let's retry. The animation, don't do it! Alright, let's fire off a few projectiles. The fired projectiles fly off into the distance. The projectiles are flying right off the edge of the screen. If we put more enemies out, the projectiles will plow right through them. Let's see if we can fix that. We'll add in a wall. And have the projectiles break when they hit the wall. Go to Objects, Simple Objects, Box to call up the object Nodon. Okay, Objects, Simple Objects, Box. Make it larger and fit it into the blue frame. Weep. Open the object Nodon's settings screen. Only visible, solid and destructive. Since destructible is disabled, when the projectiles hit the wall, it won't break. The aliens, however, will be broken by the projectiles, but let's make the wall a different color to make it a bit clearer. Okay. Alright, there's our wall. Press B to fire a few projectiles at the wall. Rapid fire. Okay. Adding walls to the level fixes the problem that we had before. Now the projectiles won't plow through the aliens too easily. We're not quite done with walls yet though. Try moving the UFO out of the screen. Okay, let's do it. You saw what happened, the UFO flew right out of the screen. Naturally, it's a bit of a problem if you don't keep the UFO on the screen. Let's apply a bit of programming to prevent the UFO from going out of bounds. We'll place an invisible wall to stop the UFO leaving the screen. Go to Object, Simple Objects Box to call up an object Nodon. Okay, let's go to the top. I'm sad that the object length maximum is so short. Under Properties, enable Solid Only. Hey up, I'm invisible, me. This is my favourite Nodon, for sure. Copy this object Nodon. And I guess we're going to put it at the bottom. Hey up, I might be invisible, but I'm still doing my job. Now copy the object Nodon one more time. And we're going to put it at the back. There we go. Hey up. It's actually quite relaxing being invisible, you know. Next we'll be building up the level on the right hand side. We should be okay with these 3 invisible walls here. Let's check it out on the game screen. Alrighty, try flying the UFO out of the game screen. I'm gonna try, but I don't think I will. Yep, perfect. Oh. Cool. UFO came up against the invisible wall, right? No need to worry about getting lost now. Alrighty, for the finishing touches. Let's create a setup to trigger the automatic retry when the UFO is destroyed. I keep second guessing myself after that typo. I keep thinking, am I getting this wrong or is it Nintendo? Because before I was always confident that it was me. But there's just that little bit of doubt there now. Go to output, retry, end swap, and retry. Go to middle and timer. Input, state change, object break. And open up the settings. UFO only. Right, so we want to check out if the UFO is broken or not. I gotcha, hun. Next, connect the object break nodon to the timer nodon. Weep. Now connect the timer nodon to the retry nodon. I recognize this chain. The broken UFO will now trigger a retry automatically. Let's see it in action. Awesome, the retry was triggered like it was supposed to be. So automatic retry setup is complete. Okay, back to the program screen. So yes, that's right. Step 3 is complete. Awesome. A new world is opening up. Aye, jobs are goodin'. The black void of space, that's what I call minimalism. Cosmic. Mounted Teeth says, your game in a nutshell, and then posted what I presume is a rat from side view using ASCII, like as a sort of emoticon. In this step, we built on the level with an enemy and walls. In the next step, we're going to make the level a whole lot bigger. I can't wait. Nice. Alright, so the next step is scrolling the game screen, but we're going to save that for next time because we're going to wrap up. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thanks to all the new viewers. Thanks for everyone that came and visited yesterday. If you want to continue chatting with the folks from chat, feel free to head over to the Video Dojo Game Builder Garage Discord, which is a pinned comment at the top. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.